99% of candidates fail this ultimate PMP exam challenge. Dare to be in the 1% that ace it. Leave your score in the comments. Two developers clash on database architecture. Which conflict resolution technique should the project manager use to fully satisfy both parties? A project has a cost-performance index, or CPI, of 0.85 and a schedule performance index, or SPI, of 1.15. How should the project manager interpret these metrics? Using beta PERT, calculate the expected task duration with an optimistic estimate of 4, most likely 6, and pessimistic 14 days. A stakeholder requests a critical new feature during a predictive project's execution phase. What should the project manager do first? A hybrid project involves hardware developed predictively and software developed using Agile. How should the project manager align the two teams? A critical path activity is delayed 2 days due to a vendor issue. What is the immediate project impact? A virtual global team has miscommunications and missed deadlines due to time zones. What should the PM do? A new data privacy law impacts your software project's compliance. What is the PM's most appropriate next step? Team members keep arguing over final approval authority for deliverables. Which tool should the project manager use to resolve this? To manage a newly identified risk, the project manager decides to purchase liability insurance. Which risk response strategy is being utilized? A project is behind schedule. Activities planned sequentially are now run in parallel. What compression technique is this? In an Agile project, who is primarily responsible for ensuring that a completed user story meets the definition of done, DoD? A developer adds an unrequested, cool feature to the software product without approval, believing it adds value. What does this represent? A sponsor wants maximum cost certainty in procurement, even at a premium. Which contract type is most appropriate? An Agile team identifies the smallest feature set that delivers value to early adopters. What are they defining? The project team inspects deliverables and identifies defects needing rework. Which process is this? A project manager limits resource usage, which extends the critical path. What schedule adjustment technique was used? A project has a $100,000 budget at completion and a current cost performance index of 0.80. Assuming current performance continues, what is the estimate at completion? A project delivered its final product but missed the expected ROI. Which document should the PM have monitored more closely? A new project team is polite but guarded, unsure of their roles. Which stage of Tuckman's ladder is this? During planning, the project manager documents factors that are considered to be true, real, or certain without proof. What is being documented? A vendor cites force majeure for a missed delivery date. Where should the PM look to resolve this? A project phase ends, and the team documents what went well and what could be improved. What is this called? In a Scrum environment, who is solely responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team? A project manager discovers that a key supplier might go bankrupt. The PM decides to hire a backup supplier on a retainer just in case. What risk strategy is this? A project is terminated early because its business case is no longer valid. What should the project manager do first? An Agile team's iteration burndown chart shows a flat line for the first half of the sprint, followed by a steep drop. What does this indicate? A project has an earned value of $50,000 and an actual cost of $60,000. What is the cost variance, and what does it indicate? In a strong matrix organization, who holds the majority of the power over project resources? A stakeholder has high power but low interest in the project. According to the power-interest grid, how should the project manager engage them? Six months into a 2-year project, the market shifts and the project's projected ROI drops by 50%. What should the project manager do? Risk triggers were missed, and a risk event occurred. Which document should the PM have monitored more closely? A PM meets privately with a withdrawn, deadline-missing team member to understand their challenges rather than reprimanding them. What skill is this? A project manager restates and summarizes a stakeholder's words to confirm understanding. What communication technique is this? A business releases a product increment with just enough value to generate revenue and feedback. What is this called? An identified risk is now actively impacting the project schedule. Where should the project manager document this? A project manager analyzes the flow of materials and information to identify waste. What is this technique? An Agile team displays its Kanban board, burn-down charts, and impediment list on an office monitor to increase transparency. What are these collectively called? A team conducts code reviews and unit testing to prevent defects. Which cost of quality category is this? A project is 80% complete, with $2 million spent and little to show for it. How should the $2 million be classified in the cancellation decision? The project manager uses a reserve to cover known unknowns identified in the risk register. Which reserve is being used?